Hey, thank you guys yet another week for coming in and kicking with us. Hey, we got a really special guest, man. For season 2, episode 4, we got my man, Matt freaking Choi, bro. All right, so this guy, man, he just does it. Like everything that he wakes up and conquers every day, he's repetitive, he's consistent, he's all of the above. Man, I mean, he's just a guy that, you know, you look at and you want to emulate and you want to be, you know, if not like him, better. And he gives you that motivation to just keep going. So I got my guy Matt Choi here, man.
Yo.
Hey, what's good, Matt, bro?
My dog.
Hey. So every beginning of every episode, bro, we gotta do a toast, bro.
Okay.
We gotta do a toast, man. So let's do a toast to friendship.
Of course.
And just a good episode, bro.
Facts, bro. Facts. Toast, brother. It's a pleasure to be here, man.
Hell yeah.
You know?
So let me kick right off the back, man. Like, I find you very, very interesting, dog. Like, very interesting and very consistent. So I want to know, and I'm sure like a lot of other people, how do you come up with your regiment, and what makes you follow that and be so consistent in it?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's a mix. You know, part of my childhood being part of football and just being a part of a team and understanding the amount of work and time that you got to put into something to be even good or to be great, whatever it might be, whether it's your career, sports, fitness, health and wellness, whatever it might be. I think at the end of the day, it takes time and effort. Going through playing high school football at a elite level high school, which is a public school at Quince Orchard High School, which we both got the pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Coach Mack and all the other great coaches and players that we got to play with. But I think that was a great foundation for me in the terms of like just like putting work in. And I think that was the first time where I really felt like, you know, I never felt like I was God-given in terms of like speed, athleticism. I was never the biggest. I was never the fastest. So like the one thing I could always control is how much work and time I put into my craft. And being Asian American, like I'm playing a sport predominantly dominated by African American people. Just there's no, it's just straight facts, right? So I think my edge has always been my work ethic and my self-discipline. And like those two factors, I felt like I gained those soft skills from football. And it transfers into my everyday life now, whether I'm building a brand, whether I'm building my business, whether I'm helping my clients, you know, create a better health and wellness strategy for themselves. I think really where the discipline and consistency part comes from me is I'm always trying to sharpen my blade. And whether it's me being a better communicator, me being a better trainer, me being a better friend, brother, son, whatever it might be, like every day I wake up in the morning, I do my morning meditation, I stretch, I wake up, I brush my teeth. The biggest battle I have is that person I look in the mirror. And like, that is my goal, is to be the best version of Matt. Like, I'm not competing against no one else. Like, that is my race. And I think that's how I approach my life and how I'm able to stack on small habits, and then it compounds over time. It's just like investing. You invest at 18 years old, even if it's $1 a day. That might seem like nothing. You look in 10 years and 20 years, how much money has grown since just putting $1 a day. It's compounds. And like, that's kind of how I look at and approach my day-to-day life and people that I interact with.
So let me ask you this. What do you do when you get tired? Or if so, it's a 2-part question. What drives you to keep going in those moments of like fatigue and like, you know, normal human feelings? Like, what keeps you going? I
mean, dude, literally for me, a lot of this is new. Like, in terms of this running and in terms of these crazy challenges I've done, like, Mark, I wasn't always that guy, right? So like, literally, I always bring it back to this story. When I was in high school, my junior year, I ran track. I had never ran track before. I only did it to get faster for football. Going into that track season, I told Pelkey, I only want to do the 100 meter and 200 meter race. That's it.
Pelkey was the high school track coach, yes, people who don't know. Hey, my man Pelkey.
He's a GOAT too. Like,
he's a GOAT.
Big love to Coach Pelkey. But there was one day in practice, it was before any meet had ever happened. Coach Goodman wanted me to try the 400 meter. Mentally, Mark, I literally closed the even mindset that I could do finish the event. It's kind of like when Coach Mack was like, yo, When RN comes to Cougar Dome, it's already 21-0 before warm-ups. They already lost before they started. In my mind, I lost before I even started that race. I knew for a fact I could complete one lap. But I was so mentally weak in that moment. I was like, you know what? Like, I don't even want to curse, but I was being a bitch in that moment just because I didn't want to do what they were asking me to do. And I literally ran the 300. And I was tired. My legs had felt it because, like, when you run a 400, it's pretty much a full sprint.
Yeah.
One lap. I stopped at 300 and I walked the last 100. And I thought I was cool because I was a radical going against the coach, doing what I want. Because at the end of the day, I knew I was there for football. I knew I wanted to just get faster. I kind of, you fast forward all those years. I played college football. I have some decent success in college, dealt through injuries, whatever. It wasn't until last year, because of COVID, when I first started running again. And I literally started with the Murph. I did the Murph 30 days in a row just to kind of challenge myself.
What's the Murph? Explain the Murph for the people who don't know.
The Murph it's this former Navy SEAL. His name is Mike Murphy. And if you've seen the movie Lone Survivor with Mark Wahlberg, it's that story. It was basically the Operation Red Wings, where they had 4 Navy SEALs go into one of the Iraqi or Pakistan. It was one of these countries that basically they were just doing special ops. Basically, the Murph, he was the lieutenant, but he died in that Operation Red Wings. And now there's a workout the CrossFit community does, which is 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 bodyweight squats, or not bodyweight, it's with a weighted vest, and then another mile to finish it. So it's a completely bodyweight workout. You don't need no equipment. You only need a bar to do the pull-ups. And it's one of those mental sharpening workouts because, like, you can't bullshit and say, I don't have a gym. I don't have dumbbells. And in the COVID world, all I had was my environment. A park, a pull-up bar, and just the outside, right?
Yeah.
To answer your question in terms of what do I do when I get tired, like, I started realizing that I wasn't pushing myself to the full limit of what I can do as a human. And it started with that day on that 400-meter yard race. That day, I quit before I even started. I lost before I even started. I realized, and it didn't honestly hit me, because you gotta think, I played college football after that. I did a whole bunch of different fitness type of stuff, but pushing yourself and doing the things that you don't like to do, that is the biggest aspect and the biggest lesson I learned. It's super easy. When you're a power lifter, it's easy to go to the weight room and put 315 on your back, bang out 8 squats. That's easy. It's hard to go run 2 miles when all you know is lift. So I just shifted my mentality and I said, you know what? Everything that I'm not good at, or anything that, it might be a weakness for me, I'm gonna turn that shit into a strength. Most people say double down on your strength, double down on your strength. I say triple down on your fucking weaknesses, and then I guarantee you'll learn more about yourself than just doubling down on your strength.
So I feel like when you talk, bro, I get like that pre-game like hype, right? Like literally, bro, I was like gripping the couch like, yeah, like I'm just listening to you and like believing everything that you're saying because I know you're about it 100%, right? So for the people who kind of like have like that self-doubt, the same doubt that you had during that 400, right? What makes you push your body to like that limit? Because that's a limit. That's a limit that a lot of people
aren't willing to go to
or don't go to or can go to, but just why? You know what I mean? Like what makes you do that?
100%. I think the biggest one, fitness, it's the quickest way to get a result. Right? Think about that.
Facts, yeah.
You do a workout for 60 minutes, and whether you push yourself to the max or you kind of just coast through it, you're going to get a result, right? You're going to feel like, oh shit, like, I have a little juice left, or like I completely emptied the tank. Once I started kind of tapping into this, like, all right, push yourself, right? So it started with that 1 mile. And to answer your question directly, for anyone out there, you don't have to do the things that I've done. You don't have to do what you see on YouTube or what anyone else is doing. You just got to challenge yourself and push your level of uncomfortability. That's it. It could start with walking 3 days a week. For someone that does no level of fitness, it could be walking for 30 minutes, 3 days a week. And that's your starting point. You do that for 4 weeks, and then you're like, damn, I feel good. I'm getting this vitamin D from the sun. I'm drinking more water. Like, magically, people get surprised that when they start moving their body and treating their body by consumption of quality food and movement that they naturally feel better. They have more energy throughout the day. They're in better moods. So like it's a direct reaction to your movement and to the actions that you create.
Yeah.
So I think for anyone listening, create small wins and small habits for yourself throughout your day or week. And literally that stuff will compound over time for you to then say, oh my God, let me try my first 5K.
Yeah. Cause it's, exactly. Cause it's for the people that like that instant gratification,
1,000.
right? It's like, I want to see instant results. I want to see, my hard work pay off.
Right.
But hey, hold on. We got a very, very special guest. He's fly to death too. We got my brother Chris from the same mother. Hey, he has something special that he's about to drop on the show. Something special. I'm gonna let him tell a little something about this little dish.
You good?
It looks super good too, bro.
It does.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me get this. We
The wire's getting cut.
Yeah. No. We're good.
You good?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Tell us something about this.
We have soul sushi. So basically, a large sushi, and it has catfish in it. Then I have served it with a side of tempura root veggie. And yeah, that's what we have today.
That
So,
looks good.
Bro, this dish looks. I'm fucking amazing. All right, bro. Hey, we're about to demolish this shit after the show, or maybe even during. Who knows? But just like I was asking my man Choi over here. Hey, for all you guys who don't know, this is my man Choi, bro.
Yeah.
Like his first name is Matt, but hey, he will be my man Choi to the day that I die.
Respect.
So just like I was asking Choi, what causes you to go like so persistent in like the field that you're in? Because literally, you never let off the pedal. So what things do you do on your personal side of life that people don't see that goes into this dish?
Well, I always keep myself educated in the field. I always try to stay current, and I always, try to develop new recipes. I like finding good recipes. Anybody can make a recipe, but to find a good recipe, you hold on to that one, and you can even add your own, your own flavors, your own style to a good recipe and make it better for you. So I love recipe searching. I love educating myself on different techniques, things I don't know. Like I recently just, picked up some pastry skills, and I developed pastry skills, and I twist that into different things I make now. So basically just studying in the house, practicing, and
being a student of the game.
Perfect.
That's all.
Being a student of the game. All right, so before you leave, let me ask you this one question. What's your legacy that you want to leave? It could be either in the cooking realm or just like overall life. What's the one legacy that you want to leave behind?
No, that I never gave up, and that I was happy doing what I do.
Respect.
Because at the end of the day, you just have to keep pushing.
Facts, bro. Hey, we appreciate you blessing the show.
Always.
Hey, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Hey, me and Choi are about to
I'm gonna crush that right after this.
put some work on this. I think everyone is about to put some work on this. We just gonna leave it right here, bro.
Let that just marinate right there.
Hey, Choi, bro. So I gotta ask you something. I gotta ask you the same question I just asked.
Yeah.
I just asked my bro. What like out of all the stuff that you do, right? You have to be driven by like some legacy that you want to leave behind. So what's that one thing or things that like that legacy that you want to leave behind when you're gone?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about this even before you had sent me, before I even seen any of the questions today, bro. Like, a lot of thought goes into some of these types of conversations, right? Because you're digging deep, and it becomes genuine talk for sure.
Yeah.
I think what legacy I would like to leave is to never set a cap or limitation on what you can do. Right? So like whether that's in your relationships, whether that's in your business, whether that's in your own health and wellness, or whatever interest or passion or love of whatever it is that you have, it's to never set any limitation on it. that like if you want to do something, go do it, try it, and literally squeeze the life out of your lemon. And I've said that on a podcast before, where it's like I feel like for me, like I think of my life as like a lemon. When you're putting lemon in water, you know, there's a couple ways you can do that. You could just toss it in your water and then you have, you know, lemon water. But a lot of times you're not squeezing the juice out of that lemon. I feel like when I have a lemon in my hand, I want to squeeze every single ounce of juice in that lemon.
And that causes you to let go sometime.
1,000%. 1,000%. And you gotta rep that out.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes even when you think you have nothing left, you might have a little bit more, a little pinch of more juice or life in that sense. So I think that's the legacy I would want to leave, is just never set a limit on what you can do.
Bro, I love that, dog. Just because I think of the same type of comparison, correlation. So for me, I always got like the towel, right? When you rinse a towel, right? And it's just like you got to keep repeating that motion. It's repetitive. You got to keep for every last drop to be out of that towel, so you can actually, whatever. Me, for my towels, I put it on my face and I pat, right? But it's like you want every single ounce gone, right, out of that towel. And bro, that's life. You got to squeeze everything you can out of it, because that cliche saying, tomorrow's not promised.
100%.
But so hey, we do this thing at the end of every show, bro. Like this, it's a must. So today I'm gonna ask you to drop a jewel on the audience. All right, just something that they can take back with them. They can apply to life, and they can like utilize immediately. You know what I mean? Because people want, again, it's that instant gratification. You may not always get that, but just something that someone can apply, like right away.
No, for sure. I think this is one of the biggest things of the past year and a half that I've been trying to work on myself, is never stop learning. No matter how old you get, no matter how great you get at your craft, like Chris was just talking about becoming a great chef. Yeah. Constantly trying new recipes, you know, figuring out what, if it's too salty, like always just mastering your craft. And I think Mark Cuban, he said, like, look, the moment you stop learning, the next young cat, the next young investor, the next entrepreneur is passing you by.
Facts.
And the moment you think you're on the top of the mountain, top of the pedestal, if you stop doing the things that got you there, you will instantly be passed by the next startup, by the next great entrepreneur, by the next great business owner, or whatever facet of, you know, whatever industry you might be in. So I think something tactical is never stop learning. And that could be listening to a podcast like this to gain motivation, or to create some more discipline for yourself, or reading a book, or watching YouTube. Like, there's so many resources in 2021 that you can use, that if you don't, like, you got to ask yourself why, right? Because like at the end of the day, we're either consuming content or you're trying to create it. Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, there's a stat that goes out there. It's like 55% of college graduates never read a book after they get their degree. So if you think about that, we live in, you know, a capitalist country where money kind of rules. But most people that have a degree in this country, after they get it, they kind of made it. Because think about it, you get a 9-to-5 job. What happens? You become a slave to the system. Yep. Even if you're rolling up the hierarchy of the corporation, when are you taking the time to build on your craft outside of your job?
Never.
Many people don't, because at the end of the day, what happens? Life happens. You start getting older, you get a kid, you have a wife at home. Now your time is soaked into that, not building your own skill and craft.
Yep. Or you fill that time with leisure activities, which don't get you anywhere
100%.
Except for wasted money.
So you talk about the escapism, living for the weekends, and there's nothing wrong with having fun in life. You live once, like we talked about. But I think it's about managing that time and understanding where you want to put your allocated time, because at the end of the day, time is our biggest asset, right? Because you can get paid, right? You can have all the money, but if you have no free time to spend with your kids or your loved ones, or doing the things you love to do, like, what is money really? Yeah. Right? It's just it's a tool. Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, if you can learn every single day, whether it's reading one page, whether it's watching one educational YouTube video, whatever it might be, find out how you learn and double down on that way.
Bro, I was like smiling as you were saying that, because I'm like, so true. It hits the heart. I love that, Jewel. I'm gonna drop one right before we go. So I remember maybe like early 2000s, it was this movie called Baby Boy, right? I don't suggest anyone under the age of 18 watch this movie. But it was this one scene. I was talking to Chris about it actually earlier, and it was this one scene when the main character Jody and his right hand man Pete were talking, right, and they were just chilling, and then Jody came to a realization, like, do you want to be a buyer or do you want to be a seller, right, in life, right? So that buyer seller mentality, he was like, I'm sick and tired of standing around here broke while everyone else is around me selling, right? You know what I mean? Just like selling. So basically what he was saying, that he was a buyer in that moment. So what he did throughout the duration of the movie is got his own business, clothing business, and started to be that seller, right? And started to create a way for himself. So anything that anybody wants to do, as far as like, you know, any idea, and also you gotta know your strengths. Sometimes you may not be like the business side of it. Maybe you just may be the inventor. I learned that directly from Shark Tank, bro. Like sometimes you may not be that guy or that pitch guy. You gotta build the right team. But you know, position yourself as either the buyer or the seller. All right. Go full steam ahead in anything that you want to do. Fucking Choi just said, freaking he gave you like the jewels to apply and to live by. So I'm not gonna say any more. Pick that decision. You're gonna be a buyer or you're gonna be a seller, all right? So hey, that concludes season 2, episode 4 of Green Lite Talk. I got my man Choi here. Hey, we had a good time. We're about to crush this food. We're about to crush. We had a real good time. Hey, so hey, you already know what to do. Subscribe, like, comment, follow, all that good stuff.
Subscribe,
hey, follow my
quick,
man right here, Choi. Hey, everywhere. You can see him everywhere. Hey, literally, you'll probably see him out running everywhere, bro. He's probably on the highway, bro, running. He's like that. So, hey, you know what to do. We signing off. Green Lite Talk, episode 4, season 2.
We out.
See you later.
Peace.